Let me tell you something. A few years ago, this was during a time that I was living in Atlanta in this teeny apartment. Really just me and my phone and a lot of late night shifts at the call center. The place was quiet, almost too quiet sometimes, but I liked it that way. And so one night after a particularly brutal shift, I get home around 1:30 a.m. I was dead tired, my feet killing me from standing for hours, but as soon as I stepped inside, I pulled out my phone to check messages. I was kind of in the habit of doing that, especially at night when no one else was awake. So as I'm fumbling with my keys trying to unlock the door, I feel my phone buzz in my pocket. I take it out and guess what? It's an unknown number. Well, that wouldn't have been a big deal if not for the fact that I was expecting a work-related call, so I answered. Boy, do I regret that, because there was total silence. Not a peep. I waited thinking it was some wrong number, but then I hung up and walked in thinking that would be the last of it. I did nothing but sit at my table, locked doors, got my snack, sat down. It took some time after that, but suddenly, as in a blink of an eye, boom. Buzz number 2. The same mysterious number. I have reached the limits of impatience by now. Was this maybe a sort of a prank? I replied to the call by clicking hello, and this time I heard that voice. It was a cold one indeed, waited so long for too long to express its judgment of sentence. I'm watching you. Well, I froze. But I mean really frozen, such that you tend to freeze within your step out of inability as your brain struggles to digest even what you saw right in your face. A thump going on within me as there was something big going on. My heart continued to pump strongly in the thumping way. Who is this? And now I was freaking out at this point. I started checking all the windows and locks to ensure they were tight. While I tried to call the police, the phone kept dropping the call. It felt like something or someone was just messing with me. And trust me when I say this, when you are alone at such an hour, your mind plays tricks. But there was something about that voice, something about how it was so real. I'm standing there in the dark, waiting when the phone buzzes again. I look at the screen and it's the same number. I'm already shaking. I pick it up, barely able to whisper, "What do you want from me?" The voice comes back even colder than before. "Check your window." I mean, I have no idea what was going through my head at this point. But against all common sense, I walked over to the living room window. My hands were so bad that they almost didn't pull the curtain back. But when I did, there he was. There under the street light was a figure. He wasn't moving, just standing there staring right at my window. His face was hard to see, but his outline was unmistakable. I could feel my entire body tense up. I couldn't breathe. He didn't wave, didn't try to get my attention. He just watched. I came out of the trance and ran for my cell phone. I dialed 911 as fast as I could and told them what had happened, and within minutes the officers came to my door. But by the time they arrived, he was nowhere in sight. They searched every part of the house but could not find him. He was gone, like he disappeared. The officers tried to explain it was probably a prank, but I knew. You can't get a call like that and then be followed by somebody and you just write it off. So I packed up my stuff the next day and moved out of that apartment. It wasn't even worth it. I would hear all the rumors floating around among the other neighbors. Some of them started getting the calls too. They said they had also seen the figure outside their windows staring at them. No one knew who he was or why he was doing this, but part of me thinks he is still there.